You might think you need approval from others, but you do not need any approval from anybody ever. You might feel like you do, but you really don't. You don't need approval. You don't need validation from others. We might be craving it. We might need it. We might be lacking that in our lives. But ultimately, you don't actually need it. You can validate yourself. You can approve of yourself. You can be your own authority. And that's what we should be doing. We can govern ourselves. Government means to control the mind. Mente. I also said it was to control men, but as in humans, but no, it's to control the mind. So what does that tell you? You can actually control your own mind. That's what true government is. The people that cannot control their own mind, well, yeah, that's when they start looking outside of themselves for control. Because they know they don't have it within. But when you have that within, that government within, you know what's right. You know what's wrong. You have a compass. You have a spiritual and moral compass. So you'll know if you go against the government of your mind, okay? The control of your mind. You'll know. Because if you have control over it, you'll know when you lose the control. You'll know. Because you're the one in charge. So just remember that you do not need approval from anyone else. You do not need to listen to other people just because they tell you they think they know who and what you are. It doesn't mean that's what you are. You define who you are. Who you are shows. It's not what somebody tells you. What you are is what you are. But if somebody's telling you that you are something that you are not, well, it's a simple lie. You don't need to be validated from that person. You don't need to hear. You might feel that you need to hear certain things from people that are abusive and say negative, hateful things toward you, but you do not ultimately need that. And I say this because the world we live in today shows how much we do not need that, because so many people are so quick to be negative and they're so quick to put each other down. So in a world like that, I don't want to seek validation from most people. I don't want to seek any of that. No approval. I don't base like what I do that's right or wrong off of what other people think of me. I base what I do that's right or wrong based on what I know to be right or wrong. Because of my moral compass. That's what you have to have. And a moral compass is, you know what a compass is. So a compass is something that helps you, guides you in the direction that you need to go. So a moral compass is something inside you that guides you morally to do the right thing. So we should all be working on that more so than working on getting the approval and adoration of others. Let's work on ourselves. Let's make sure that we're good people first. Make sure that you approve of yourself first. Approve of your, it's like having a whole bunch of self-worth. And you just know. You'll know. And when you begin to start to do this stuff, you'll realize where all your wrongs are. Inevitably, because we're taught to seek approval. We're taught to do this. So eventually, you're going to see little by little how you were counting on others to fill that gap of approval. But once you realize you can fill it yourself, it's such a relief, and it actually empowers you, and you can take charge of your life. You don't need anybody to do anything for you. Now, of course, we all need somebody to talk to, or we might need to blow off some steam, which is okay. Or maybe just talking about different thoughts that you have, and something maybe that's not something that you would approve of yourself. That's okay to talk about with other people. But when they start getting too personal and dictating to you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, well, then it's time to reflect and go inside and say, well, what do I think I should do? It really comes down to that. What do you think is right? What do you think the right answer is? What is the best outcome for me and everyone else? What is the most healthy outcome? So remember, don't seek approval from others, because they're not going to give you what you can give yourself. Thank you.